Hi everybody! Today I'm going to make a birthday card for my friend Corey. So first we're going to start with a piece of, I think this is My Mind's Eye. I just like the way it was distressed looking. Then I took and I cut 4.5 by 5 3/4 square, or rectangle actually, from that cardstock. And I ran it through a paper crimper. This is a paper crimper. You just stick your paper in there, run it through, and it gives it this corrugated look to it. And then next I inked all the edges with a cat's eye. It's just brown. That gave me this piece. And so the next, I'm going to cut a window. We're actually going to use these 3 dies. They're by Poppy Stamps. There's a window. It's a Grand Madison Window. There's the shutter and the flower box. And so the way these work are you take your paper and your die cut, and with the sharp side up you run it through any kind of die cut machine. This is the Big Shot machine here. So I've just sandwiched it in, and after you run it through the machine, you will have your piece of cardstock will be cut. Trying to find something to poke it out of here with. Here we go. And then you have your window. Pop the rest of the pieces out. So that's the Madison window. Basically the shutter and the flower box work the same way. So after I got my window, I took some lace and glued it to the back. I don't know if that helped you see it better or not. I glued it to the back of this window to make it look like a curtain. And then next, I took a piece of yellow cardstock. It sort of has some flowers on it. This is going to represent like what the wallpaper maybe behind my window would look like. So I already have some dots on the back of this window. These are like little clear adhesive dots. And so then I can just take my window and stick it on top of the wallpaper. And it's not perfectly on there. And then next I have put dots on the back of this too, so that I can stick it to the blue paper. So I'm going to take my window and I'm going to position it about right here. So that now this is what I have. And so next, with the shutter die cut, I cut 2 shutters. So I'm going to adhere the shutters. I have little adhesive dots on the back of them already too. There's another one. And I'm just going to adhere them next to my window. So now I have a window and 2 shutters. Next, I'm going to take a piece of rickrack, and I've applied some ribbon adhesive to the back of it, and I'm going to put it about here. Run it back across the back too. It's not very even. And then next I took a Cuttlebug die cut, and I ran it through the Big Shot and cut out a label that out of brown cardstock that looks somewhat like this from this die cut. And after I cut that out, I stamped it with a sentiment from one of the Stampin' Up! Sets called Blooming with Kindness. I stamped this, warmest wishes on your birthday. And I inked the edges, and I put a little bit of bling on it too. And also I put some foam dots on it because the rickrack was quite thick and made it pop off the page already anyway. So next I'm going to put this here. I swear this is what I have so far. Next I cut out in this die cut set the flower box, and I inked the edges. And with the flower box, I want to make it look like it has plants in it. So I'm going to take some Flower Soft. Flower Soft is like almost like flocking, except it almost looks like little tiny flowers. This is what the container looks like that it comes in. And I'm going to take the Flower Soft adhesive, and it dries pretty quick, and put some on this flower box, if it will come out. And so we're going to run some glue over this flower box wherever I'm wanting the Flower Soft to stick. And then you just take it and sprinkle it on. And if you want it to be really thick, you can put more glue and add more. Or if you wait and don't thump it all off, the more you leave it, let it dry, the more will stick. If you thump it off, hardly any will stick to it. And so I'm going to make it look like there's leaves all over the flower box with this. And then next I want to make it some little flowers that will be sticking up out of the Flower Soft. And in order to do that, I'm going to take this wire, and it's some wire that comes from Flower Soft. It's just like long pieces of wire, and you can cut them however long you want. So I'm going to take this wire, and I'm going to get it coated with some glue. And then I'm going to take this color of the Flower Soft, I think this one's called Springtime or something, and I'm going to get flowers to stick all over it, or the Flower Soft to stick all over it. And a little trick I learned is to get a sponge or something, and you can stick it in here and let it dry. That way I won't knock all the little flowers off of it before it's dried. And so I took all of that, and this is what I came up with. I got the green flower soft, and then these were the little flowers that I made with the wire. And I stuck a piece of foam on the back of here, two-sided sticky foam, and then they're just stuck inside of that foam. And then I also, on this flower box, I cut out some butterflies with this embosslet. It's Beautiful Wings. It's from Stampin' Up. It cuts out these butterflies and puts a little embossed texture on them. You run it through the Big Shot too. So I took the littlest butterfly here and I put it on with a little piece of bling also. So I'm going to take my flower box and I'm going to stick it underneath the window. I can get the foam off the back, or the sticky off the foam. There we go. And I'm going to put that right underneath the window here. There we go. And so now this is what I have. And so next I took and I cut out the actual card that I'm going to adhere. This whole card too. And so I have some dots already on the back of here. I just have to pull the other side off. Make sure I have this right side up. So I'm going to find about the middle of this and stick it on there. And on the inside I stamped a sentiment. I put the other butterfly on the inside. And there you have it. Happy birthday card for Corey. Happy birthday, Corey. So thanks for watching.